Hey guys, it's Everett. I set my doctor's appointment for tea yesterday, so I just wanted to make a quick video about what went down and the process I went through personally and stuff for those of you who are wondering. I did promise to make a video about that. So, I lived in a real small town in, in northern Texas, real close to Oklahoma. And up there, pretty much the only way to get testosterone was through this one doctor. His name is Dr. Butera, and if you need more information on him after the video, feel free to hit me up. I'll answer any questions you may have. But there's a few ways to go about doing it through his office. You can wait 2 months and make an appointment to see him, which usually takes about 2 months, or you can make an appointment to see a therapist, a gender therapist. It'll be sooner than the 2 months, but then they'll ultimately get you referred to see him, which I'm assuming would take about the same amount of time. What I did personally was I opted not to go to therapy and just make the 2 month wait and see Dr. Butera straight up because personally I didn't need therapy. I have nothing against gender therapy. I think it's very useful if you feel like you need it or you're still in the stage of figuring things out. It's a very good thing to have, and I think you should talk to a professional before deciding any major medical transitions or anything like that. But for me, I've lived with this all my life. As soon as I knew what being transgender meant, it was like the missing puzzle piece. So I personally didn't feel like I needed to talk to somebody about that in particular before going on T or doing anything else related to my transition. But there is that option available for you, and I do recommend it. So yeah, I waited 2 months. I had my appointment yesterday, and it was a really just straightforward, chill, laid-back session. Like, he's a really cool guy. He made me feel really comfortable. He just pretty much asked about my mental health and my physical health, and have I ever been depressed before, which I have in the past a few years ago, and I did talk to a therapist about that, a different therapist, and I got that under control. So and just asked how things are for me in life right now, and then he asked can you do for me, and I was just like, I really want to get started on tea, man. And he asked me what all I knew about it, and the permanent side effects, of course. Asked if I knew about the voice change, the facial hair, and other bodily hair changes that won't go away after, if I did decide to stop, which I wouldn't. And just made sure I was up to speed on all of that stuff. And he wrote me a script that same appointment for testosterone, and then also he put me on estrogen blockers because he started me off on a low dose of T to be safe, because he also didn't run any blood tests or anything. I'm gonna get that done in about a month when I go back to see him after I've been on this low dose of T for a few weeks and with estrogen blockers. And I took my T shot and the blockers last night and today. The blockers are every day, the T shots once a week. And of course, it's too soon to notice any side effects or any changes, but I just wanted to point out that with the estrogen blockers, I feel like I'm on menopause. And I know when the T starts kicking in, I'm going to feel like a teenage boy. So I'm going to feel like a teenage boy on menopause, they said. And the hot flashes, definitely something that started right away. I've been so hot. I'm a really skinny dude. I'm like 6'2", 127 pounds, and always freezing, but I've been so hot the past few since I took the blocker. So I know that's working for sure. I'm excited about it. It's not too bad, nothing I can't handle as of yet anyways. All of this was covered by insurance. Prior to starting this new job today, I had been working for Starbucks for the last year and a half or so, and I pretty much hung on for these past couple months just for the insurance, because if you work at Starbucks, their insurance is pretty good. I would recommend getting on that. It's Primera, and it covered everything. I think out of pocket I paid about $10, and that's because I had about 4 prescriptions being filled yesterday. I don't really remember which one cost me $10, but it was my tea, the estrogen blockers, 2 other things, and all my syringes and stuff. So it was pretty cheap. I think it would have been like $6 without the syringes. So it was really good. And I do hear that testosterone isn't that expensive anyways. I know a lot of people don't go on it, like, because of the monetary aspect, but from what the research I had done prior to the appointment, like, the vials aren't what's expensive. It's probably the doctor's appointments and the blood tests and stuff like that that's going to cost you money. But tea itself is not a huge out-of-pocket loss, especially if it's something you really want, you know, like, it's worth it. Well, at least to me it is. But yeah, that's all that went on. Like, I had 1 appointment with them, and I got put on tea right away. And I mean, I have never been happier, man. Like, this is the happiest I've been in a really long time. I can't wait to just let nature take its course and start seeing some changes. But yeah, if you have any questions about Dr. Butera or like any options, I know the way I went about it is not like the norm. Because I always hear about guys having to go through so many sessions of gender therapy to get this letter, get referred to an endocrinologist that'll give you tea, and that's a struggle a lot of my trans brothers have run into. But the whole process for me was just a 2-month wait and 1 appointment, you know. So hit me up if you have any concerns or want to know more about that. I'd recommend Butera to anyone. He's a real good guy. I guess that's about it till I make a video when I actually have some changes to talk about. Yeah. Later, YouTube.